Good evening, everybody! Welcome to round 9 of our 1978 DRM series, coming to you from an airport in Hessen, Germany. Oh my goodness. So the cars are finishing their qualifying session for Division 2, and it appears that Juha Boss is on top at the moment. "20 seconds to go. And we don't hear any noise anywhere, so it looks like everybody's back in the garage. And I'm joined in the booth by the always erudite Tim Hille. Tim, thanks for joining us this evening.
Good evening to everybody.
Yeah, so last time out in this series, the Green Hell, which is a 14-mile Nürburgring, that was what we were seeing, and it was a combined race with both divisions. Tonight, the series faces a very different challenge, a small airport circuit with 2 straightaways and 2 chicanes. Is it fair to assume, Tim, that the drivers will be drawing on their setups and choices that they made for tracks like Mainz-Finthen and the Norris Ring?
Well, you can certainly use the other short tracks as a, let's say, guideline for this track, but well, you still need to do the fine-tune for every track by itself, so it's not a foregone conclusion what setup you pick.
Yeah, this track looks deceptively simple, but I'm sure it's not. I'm sure that especially difficult is when you have 2 cars side by side coming to a chicane. Who ends up going first? It's almost a game of chicken, I would think.
Yeah, and the first chicane is particularly scary. I mean, if you're running just a little, like 1 meter too much to the right or too much to the left, you're facing a solid table or a solid cone, and your race will be over. Feels a little bit like Monaco, at least in the first chicane.
No kidding. So these are absolutely solid with no give whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, that could prove to be very costly for people who are off by just a little bit. We'll have to be careful to watch that, because in several of these races, I know that we have barriers that have a little bit of give, but if these are solid, that's pretty crazy. Another thought that came to my mind, when it comes to Division 2, which is kind of a mix of turbocharged and normally aspirated cars, everything in Division 1 is turbocharged with the exception of Alberto's car. In the case of Division 2, what do you think we can expect in terms of performance difference between turbocharged and normally aspirated cars?
Well, the non-turbocharged cars would obviously have a little bit of a benefit in the corner exit, because they get their power instantly. They put the foot on the loud pedal and they're just going, while the turbo cars, they may need like a second or something to think, alright, now I give you the power, everything is fine, but at the end of the straight, the turbo cars are still, at least based on my testing, like 10 kilometers faster, so all the time they lose in the initial exit, they will make up over the straight, and it will be fun to see if you got 2 guys, 1 turbocharged car and 1 non-turbocharged car with the same pace.
Well, lots of things to keep track of. Some additional information, and by the way, I'd like to thank Tim for doing research ahead of this broadcast. He did a lot of important research, some of it mathematical in nature, that's going to help make this broadcast more informative for everybody. I'm just adjusting the volume slightly here. There we go. Anyway, Kassel-Calden, this is the circuit that we're at. It also hosted Formula 3 back in the 1970s and early 80s. So you had drivers like Riccardo Patrese and Nelson Piquet who drove here. Patrese won the F3 race here in 1976, and Nelson Piquet won the F3 race here in 1977. European F3 left in 1982 after that track had hosted national and international bike races. The track hosted its last race in the late summer of '87, so it hasn't seen any racing for a long, long time. Fun fact, once a Formula V race had to be aborted because a small airplane had to land on the airfield due to a fuel shortage. I think it's fair to say that was the right choice.
Also, something you don't get at every track. Like I think it was at Mainz-Finthen. we had that the Pope once had like the Sunday, it's called a Sunday meeting at the airfield, and well, we got today a track where somebody had to do an emergency landing.
Oh man. Well, in any case, let's have a look at what's going on the track at the moment. We'll get a chance to look at the cars in action. And right here we're looking at John Team, and he is closely pursuing Juha Boss. Let's take a look. He's heading onto the front straight. A very unusual sky I'm looking at here. I don't know about you, Tim.
Mine is kind of gray at the moment. I don't know about yours.
Whoa! Yeah, it's very, very dark gray, which is unusual. Perhaps things will change when we go to the race session, but John Team just ran into a barrier, so that illustrated your point right away. Here is Wilmer Johnson, his view, following Juha now on the back side of the course, and we'll get to see, you can see the control tower there for the airplanes, and there's big sausage curbs. Why am I not surprised? Goodness, Juha is having a lot of trouble with his car under braking. So then, here we are accelerating past the start-finish line. And up here comes the chicane. You can see Juha trending towards the right, trying to thread the... Basically, you're threading a needle there. Juha goes off the track. We're still riding with Wilmer. Wilmer does a very acute right-hand turn, followed by a lesser right-hand turn. So it's almost trapezoidal, this track, when you get down to it. And then you put the two chicanes in there. So here he comes now, ready to turn left into this next chicane. And they're actually, I guess the anti-cut is giving them a little bit of a leeway when it comes to bounding over those sausage curbs. But that's not something you're going to want to do very often, is it?
No, yeah, that's true that the game is quite lenient on it, but well, if you cut too much and you find yourself hitting a cone, your race is over. So it's a game of when you're playing with fire, essentially. Yep.
Yes, Cesario said, it appears that we are nighttime racing tonight. So I have no clue why the sky is doing this, but it will probably change once we go to the race session. And if not, then we're night racing. Such is life. But you can see these laps rattle off very, very quickly. A lap around here is only about 40 seconds and change. So, given, going back to the track map, given that we have 40 lap races, 2 of them, they're going to go by pretty fast. But my guess is that the attrition rate is going to be quite high, given what we're dealing with in terms of immovable objects in the chicanes, keeping our drivers honest.
Yeah, if you got a track like this, you would prefer to maybe have a longer track, but with lesser laps, because then you also have basically a lower risk to hit any of these unmovable parts at the part of the track.
Yeah, no question about that. Anyway, some other important information while we're watching the track action, and again, thanks to Tim for preparing this for us, because there are championship implications tonight. There could be. Basically, with Anders in the champ. Well, first let's look at the championship points as they stand this moment. That'd be a good place to start. Anders Nilsson is in the lead currently with 115 points. Now remember, it doesn't matter whether you're in Division 1 or Division 2. You score points for the same championship table. Thiago Canola, who is not here this evening, is in second with 83 points. Richard Wilch is in third with 79 points. John Team is in fourth with 76 points, and then it's a tie for fifth between Juha and David Jakes with 67 points, respectively. Now, here's the thing to consider going into the race. Anders could win the championship tonight if he has a 41-point lead after both races. Since you can only take a maximum of 40 points in the last two races, regardless of dropped scores. So basically, we're going to have to wait for 2 sections of the DRM series, Division 1, Division 2, in order to find out if Anders wins the championship. Because if he wins his race, let's say, or scores really well, and then we come to Division 2, his closest pursuer, since Tiago's not racing, will be Richard Wilkes. So we'll have to see what happens with that race and see if Anders takes the championship.
Pretty nail-biting stuff for Anders, I guess, when he has a good race one and has to watch his basically his competitors.
Yeah.
I don't know how I will feel in that situation.
Well, I mean, he is starting reasonably far up the field anyway, so that always helps, especially on a track like this. If someone has an issue at a chicane right in front of you, you have very little choice of where to go. So that could end up happening here. We could see people unwittingly becoming victims of circumstance behind somebody else who has an incident. So the farther up the field Anders starts, the less chance that'll happen. Although then you're lapping people. So at least in the early laps, it would make things interesting or make things less hazardous. But this is the way the points break down. Just to remind everybody, the points for first place are 20, then 15 for second, 12 for third, 10 for fourth, 8 for fifth, 6 for sixth, 4th for seventh, 3 for 8th, 2 for 9th, and 1 for 10th. And again, they all score in the same table, regardless of whether you're Division 1 or Division 2. So, the current gaps and how much these people are behind Anders. Tiago Canola has 83 points, is not racing, and that's a 32-point gap, so Anders has to outscore him by 9 points. Richard Wilkes, who is racing tonight, is 79 points. 36-point gap, needs Anders to outscore him by 5. John Team has 76 points, 39 points gap, and Anders needs to outscore him by 2 points. And then there are other drivers that theoretically still have a chance to win the championship, but they have to outscore Anders to keep the championship chance alive. Juha Boss, David Jakes, Cesarius Lipinski, Ray Rudall. But it's definitely looking like the scales are tipped into Anders' favor. If things go well for him this evening, and not so well for Wilkes, we could see him crowned the champion this evening. But we'll see. There's a lot that can happen. There's a lot that can go wrong. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows if Anders' engine will last?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It could be an engine. It could be just negotiating a chicane wrong. Could be any number of things. It could be, and again, it could be, like I was saying earlier, a victim of circumstance. It could be something that you're not even a victim of, and it's just, or not even causing. It's just something that you run into, and there's nothing you can do. Let's look at the trivia question real quick for everybody. The trivia question: in the 1978 International ADAC Supersport Rennen Kassel-Calden, which is the race we're doing now, who placed first in Division 1? Is it A, John Fitzpatrick, B, Bob Wallach, or C, Klaus Ludwig? Well, the answer later for you in the broadcast. Coming up next Sunday, the Indy cars return, and we're back on ovals again for the next 2 races, actually. First one is at Nazareth, Pennsylvania International Raceway. Bosch Sparkplug Grand Prix. But this is much more of a race. The Grand Prix is kind of deceptive. It's much more of a bull ring type race that you would see at Phoenix, for example. It is a 200-mile race. This is a 1-mile oval. Sunday, October 30th. Green flag at 2000 CEST. This is going to be a nail-biter of a race. Be sure to tune in, and Jonathan will be there to give you coverage, I believe. But very, very close quarters battle at this circuit. It's like Phoenix on steroids. That's what it feels like. And Tim will not be driving in this race. He has other things to do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. All right, so we've got about 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. So predictions, Tim, what do you think we can expect in race 1 here, the Division 2 race?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we are expecting a race of attrition. I don't want to jinx anybody before the race, but yeah, the chances that somebody will have a crash or somebody's engine will blow is basically 100%. I would even bet money on it.
Yeah, I would say it's a definite danger that's going to happen.
And I'm hoping that we will have a nice fight at the front between multiple cars so far. John Team looks especially fast. Anders, who needs a good race today if he wants to save some nerves for later races, needs to have a good race. And Wilmer's also looking like a good driver today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I always I'm good at betting on stuff with when it comes to the open wheel cars, not so much with the tin tops. We'll have to. I'm going to reserve judgment, but I think Anders has shown remarkable ability in his Fruit of the Loom car. So I wouldn't be surprised if he either wins today or places near the front, and then it's a matter of, okay, what happens next? We have to do computations, and we're going to find out, can his performance in Division 2 sustain him to win the championship? Oh my goodness, there's Wilmer Johnson hitting the barrier, which is exactly what we don't want to see. Here's a replay of that. So, comes into the corner, and watch this. He's exiting the corner, but he's too wide. Bam! That was a little bit of a delay, but look at that. It took off a wheel as well. So this is exactly what drivers don't want to have happen. I think what happened there is he hit the inside curb, and it put him into a little bit of a slide, and that was enough for him to catch the hay bale, which is apparently not going anywhere. So
this is a tough lesson for the race.
Yes.
Now you understand what speed he has to drive through there.
Get these out of the way before the race. There's that guy again. We've got this one shot on the track, which is hilarious, and it has this guy just staring into the camera. One of the track marshals, and he is very stoic. He is not moving, not doing anything.
He found his perfect place, and he wants to stay at the perfect place.
I guess so. He craves TV time. All right, so as soon as it clicks over to the race session, we're going to go through the grid. And then again, this is Division 2. All right, there we go. Hopefully we'll have no issues here. Yeah, now that's a sky that makes a little more sense. Okay, Juha is on the pole for this one, so we'll wait for him to join the track, and then as we see... Oh, the server is catching up. That's why we see no cars. There we go. All right, so there's Juha's car. So we'll wait until all the cars are on the grid and start going around, and we'll very quickly go through. This is we're also dealing with the typical stuff we do towards the end of a season here at ISO. Less people are involved. Some people drop out. So you end up with lighter fields. But I would think on a track this small, a lighter field is probably a good thing.
You don't want 20 cars on a track that's, I think, 1.4 kilometers long. So that would be even more chaos.
Oh goodness. All right, so they're coming onto the track here, and I'll go through the starting grid as they head around. Nilsson, you can see him there. And by the way, I remember now. He switched to a Ford. He's not in the Fruit of the Loom colors anymore. He's in a Ford Zaxbyde. So. All right, here we go. On the pace lap. On the pole is Juha Boss, Worth hat number 50. Second, Anders Nilsson, Mompe Zaxbyde number 54. Third is John Team, BMW Schweiz number 90. Fourth is Jakob Fredriksson, BMW Sweden number 62. Wilmer Johnson is fifth, Team Fruit of the Loom. Sixth is Ray Riddall, Sachs Sporting. Seventh is Little Al, Mompe Zaxbyde. Eighth, David Saber, Team Heidegger. Ninth, Angel May, Mompe Zaxbyde. 10th, Francois Rennen, BMW Pfalz Essen. Number 11, and then 11th place we have Jonathan Asserklint, Memphis Team International. And that is your grid, 11 cars. And here they are, coming off the corner, ready to start the race. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's interesting. They're all... Now, is the race underway? The clock has not run yet.
I think we need like 1.5 formation laps. I mean, that's at least
Maybe.
what you have to do when you're coming out of the garage. So.
Okay, because, yeah, I'm looking at the clock at the top here, and I don't see it running.
Yeah.
Okay, they're starting to form up now.
We should have our start after this lap.
Okay, hopefully, yes. Okay, heading through the second chicane one more time, and then hopefully we will get a green flag around, or not a green flag, but a great start. Off the corner. They look like they're trying to form up here. Watching the clock here. And the clock is still not running. Interesting. Well, I'm a bit of a loss for words here. I'm not sure what's going on, but
Not sure either.
and Juha's pulling off, and he's the admin for the series. So you can bet credits to Navy Beans that we are going to restart the server. Something is clearly not right. There's Jonathan coming to a halt in his Memphis-sponsored BMW, the Batmobile. Yeah, something seems odd here. So Boss is like out of the race as far as he's taking himself out. So it's like apparently he's fiddling with the server at the moment.
Yeah, the other cars are just running around the track in second gear probably. So saving fuel.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, no.
Yep. Restart. So it's interesting because it's supposed to be a rolling start. There is no standing start situation with this race. So I'm surprised that it would cause an issue. If we, I know what the next step is. If we don't, if we aren't able to get it to run when it's a rolling start, the next step would be to do a standing start and then have people just roll around for one lap and then go. And someone will have to call the race. So here we are back with the server. So I don't know what change has been made, but hopefully this time around it'll work. Here we are once again with like very, very ominous looking skies.
That's the practice and warm-up sky we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
When we come to the race, we'll have the correct one.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what this does to the drivers as far as their nerves before a race. We had a bunch of this stuff go on at the last IndyCar race. You're ready to go, and then something happens, and then you got to then you have to regroup, start again, and sometimes it takes a couple of tries. But I don't know. For me, it kind of has a diffusing effect of the tension. I don't mind it so much. After a while, you start to just be like, the back of your head's like, oh, whatever, you know. I guess it depends on who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Some people take it quite easy, like, I'm gonna start the race anyway. Doesn't matter if it's an hour or in 5 minutes. And other people may be a little bit nervous, maybe thinking too much about the start of the race. What should I do? What happens when? And yeah, just like you said, it, the individual itself has to deal with it in its own way. That it's
Yeah.
fine with. We will now have a main race start that will be given by our admin Juha.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense. That one cannot fail.
Well, don't jinx it.
Well, it can't fail as far as practicality. It's going to work. All right. So this now is practice, I believe. The practice sky. And then we're going to be advancing. Oh, there's the warm-up sky, which is dark. So we should now be moving to a race session. After Juha puts in the grid, he's got to make sure everybody's in the right spot. All right, so they've added one lap, which is the pace lap. There we go. That makes sense. There we go. All right, we're back on the grid now. Hopefully this one will work. I've already gone through the grid once. So we'll see if these drivers can get off to a good start here. Looking at the track map itself, they've got quite a long run before the first chicane, so we'll see who gets the upper hand once they get there. All right, off they go.
You can really see how everybody's working his tires and the formation.
Oh yeah, they
wiggling around like crazy.
They really, really, really want to get power. I'm sorry, it's heat into the tires so that they're going to have maximum grip. What's the other question? How much this track is going to chew up tires?
Based on my testing, I mean, I haven't done a full race stint, but I've done like 10 or 20 laps in one stint, and it didn't have much degradation in the tires, so tires shouldn't be a problem.
There's an interesting thing right there. So tire degradation wasn't an issue?
No, but the engine is. gonna be a big issue for everybody.
Yeah, if you look back now at the, oh, here they come. Here they come for the start now. Slowing down, trying to get ready to go, and we are underway, heading for the first chicane. Juha is in front. Look at Nilsson, though, trying to find a way through there. He could not. Oh, my goodness! Already we have, oh, my goodness. That was a huge, huge impact at the very back. Let's look at a replay here of what happened. It was Jonathan Asserclinth. Oh, no. Jonathan Asserclinth coming into the chicane in front of, it looked like, Little Al. And he hit one of the signs, and it took a bunch of parts off the car. Oh, it was Angel May, actually. Angel May was able to get through. That's really too bad for Jonathan, because it was a single-car accident. Ugh. Really too bad.
It's a really short race for him.
Yeah, I know, extremely short. So John Team is in the lead. Juha Boss is in second place. Nilsson is in third. Wilmer Johnson fourth, and Jakob Fredriksson is in fifth place. Oh my goodness! The leader just shortcut the chicane. I wonder what that's going to do, but he didn't gain any serious advantage. I don't think. He probably got a warning from the server. Here's John Team heading down the straightaway. Here we go into the chicane one more time. Everybody getting through without much trouble. I don't see any... Oh my goodness, Rennen came very, very close to hitting that hay bale. But people are trying their darndest not to have any issues. John Team on the backside now, heading into the chicane. Nilsson, Boss, Johnson, Fredriksson, Radal, Saber, Rennen. So I think everybody's starting to get into a rhythm now. But these laps are rattling off very quickly. We're already at lap 5 out of 40. That first lap was just a pace lap. Does not count towards the race. Now here's Juha, and he is being hounded from behind by Anders Nilsson. This is a good battle, it looks like here.
Juha clearly doesn't have the pace for both Anders and John Team at the front.
Yeah.
Before the race, I heard from Juha that he's heavily struggling with engine temperature. Doesn't matter how low his boost is, he is always going to overheat the engine. So maybe he's just taking it super easy to make it to the finish flag. That would make sense. They're taking it easy so that they are actually around at the end. I think, especially in Anders' case, you can understand why, because he wants to wrap up the championship today, if possible. Coming onto the back side of the track now. Yeah, the front two have checked out pretty much. Yeah, Nilsson has got a gap of about 1.159 seconds, so he's not letting Team get away. But then the next group back, Boss. Oh, it looks like Juha had some kind of an issue there. Wilmer Johnson pulls alongside, and he's taken third place away from Juha. Looks like Juha just bobbled a bit, and Fredericks is going to take a position too. So Juha loses 2 positions in one lap here. Looks like he just had some kind of a bobble coming out of the last corner, and he lost all of his momentum. And if you're driving a turbocharged car, that's simply something you do not want to have happen. Again, looking at Wilmer Johnson, there's yellow flags over here. Not sure what's going on. Someone off course, apparently. Rennen is in the pits.
Oh, it's Rennen! It is no, it's Angel May. Angel May is got the car backed up here against the barrier. I don't know if she's waiting for an appropriate time to back up. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She doesn't want to rejoin the track. She might be stuck, actually.
Nah, she wants to reverse out of there, but the game is already thinking that this is the pit lane, so even though there are no cones, you can't get through there.
Oh, so well, there she goes. Okay, so now she's back joining again. Fredriksson and Wilmer Johnson battling here. It looks like Fredriksson got ahead of Wilmer just now. Oh, but look at that. Same exact thing that happened to Juha. Fredriksson has some kind of a funny thing happen at the end of the track. And there, Johnson is able to get back in front and clears him in front of the chicane. There you can see Angel May having just exited the pits, and she's making as much room as she can for everybody. Look at this, side by side now as Fredriksson wants that position back, and he's going to get it as they go into the next chicane. Excellent, very well executed. Still static at the front. Team in front. Nilsson is in second place. Nilsson hasn't had too much time in that car. Most of the rest of the season he's been running the BMW, but I don't know, I haven't noticed any performance difference from him, have you?
Nah, Anders is a very versatile driver. You can put him in anything that has 4 wheels and the engine in it, and he'll be driving the wheels of that thing.
Yes, no question about it.
It's also worth mentioning that we currently have 3 non-aspirated cars in the top 4.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, it's kind of unusual, I think, for the Division 2 races. So normally the turbo cars were at the front.
It tells me that the turbocharged cars are taking it easy.
They have to, I assume,
Yep.
based on the pace they all displayed, not just... Except for Anders, he's the only turbo car in the top 4, but he's Anders, so he's probably doing some Swedish magic. But everybody else is after Juha.
Looks like the battle between Wilmer and Fredriksson has cooled off for a moment. Now, Rayberdal appears to be closing on Juha a little bit. So it could be a battle there. But you can lose yourself a lot of time if you get one of these chicanes wrong. If you don't exit them with a lot of speed or just clip something funny and then it takes away momentum. I don't know what was going on in that last turn, but it looked as if they were just understeering out into the gray and trying to get grip back and lost a lot of speed. Exit speed. It can't be a camber situation because it's dead flat there.
No, but when you drive with the car, you can get quite loose because before you brake for the last corner, you've got something like you're not braking straight, you're braking basically in a right corner.
Yeah.
And that can make your car very loose once you come to the corner entry, and you got to lose counter entry. It will also be loose in the exit.
Okay, Nilsson is starting to close on team, and we have some cars here in the way. The gap is now under a second. So Nilsson might now be trying to plot some kind of move. He laps, I believe that was Angel May. So once you get to a situation where there are lots of cars you're lapping on course, it's only 11. Well, there's less than now. We have 9 cars on the track at this point. And Wilmer Johnson's out of the race. This just happened now. I'm going to look at a replay. Here's a replay of what happened. And it's the oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! He went for a, like, good grief. He gets an A for acrobatics. Wilmer Johnson comes into the first chicane, hits the hay bale with the right front of the car, and we have liftoff. Oh my goodness.
Luckily we're at an airport already, so he doesn't have to...
He has achieved enough height there, I believe, to be on the radar. Oh my goodness. Well, that's the end of Wilmer.
He definitely had to call the tower we saw at the track.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so that's very unfortunate. So now there are 8 cars on the track. We thought this would be a high attrition race, and it is. It's turning out to be one.
Also interesting to note that Wilmer had exactly the same crash in the warm-up. And I thought he would have learned from it, but looks like then willingness to push the car got the better of him.
Yeah. So the gap is 0.6 of a second. So Wilmer is closing every little bit. Now we got Angel May has spun, and that was one of her parts, I believe, that was hit by Nilsson. Probably won't do any damage to his car, but Angel is trying to rejoin in a way that will not disrupt other people's races. There she goes. She is now moving. John Team still in the lead. Nilsson in second, 6.52 second gap. And they've got another car that got a lap up here. So I can see this being a continuing theme here, where you come up and you're trying to get by somebody who's being lapped, and you want to do it in the most advantageous way possible, but sometimes you just can't time it that way, and it causes issues. Like right there, team was definitely slowed up by David. Not David's fault, it's just one of those situations where it's awkward. But they both got through, and the time is continuing to drop ever so slightly. So Nilsson definitely aware of the championship situation and wants to do the best he can in this race. You can throw a blanket over them almost now. Another, I believe that's someone in the pits right now. Can't be certain of who that is. But here comes Nilsson looking on the outside, but that's probably not the best place to look. Oh, he really gets the car loose coming out of the first chicane.
Yeah, and Angel is in the pits preparing or regaining the wing she lost.
Okay, I see. Here comes Anders again. Looking, but he can't find anything. He's stuck behind John Team, and really, you don't have to do very much to make your car wide enough to not get by on a track like this. Team exits with pretty good speed. We'll see if Anders is looking towards the outside. I don't know. I mean, that's probably just him saying, "Hey, here I am," playing a psychological game with John Team, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. And also maybe to gain some nice cool air instead of the hot air.
That's true. That's another reason he would do that, to pop out and get some air inside the car. That's a very good point. All right, coming down. We are now basically at half distance in this race. Starting lap 21. The yellow flags are sitting there probably just for people in the pits. Nilsson pretty much holding station now behind Team. He's going to be looking for the right opportunity, maybe taking advantage of a problem that Team might have, or an awkward interaction with a lapped car. Seneca said that luck is where opportunity meets preparation. So I'm sure that Anders is trying to place his car in a spot that if something were to happen to John Team, he can take advantage of it and slip into the lead.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Anders has got a turbo engine while John has got a non-turbo engine. So
yes,
if John misses up in the acceleration zone, if he has a misshift or something, Anders will be looking for that first place.
Yep. Coming through the second chicane. Everybody definitely looks like they've been doing their homework and being careful. Right back down to the first chicane again. Gap is open slightly. Maybe Anders is taking a bit of a breather for a second. Fredriksson running by himself in third place. Fredriksson has had some races in the past where his engine is let go, so I'm sure he wants to do well in this race and finish. Juha Boss is in fourth, and Ray Rodal is right behind him in fifth place now. View from inside Ray's car. And another yellow flag in this area. I don't see any cars. It's probably the pit lane, but there's a little Al Aquino making way for both Juha and Ray Radal. So now Ray is right tucked up behind Juha, and he's about ready to make a... Well, not now, but he's looking like he's getting close to making a move.
The situation between Ray and Juha is basically like the same. He got to the front, the car behind is just waiting for a mistake, or maybe waiting for a send in the last few laps.
Yep.
Because that gap was already a second 5 or 10 laps ago.
Angel May has retired from the race now, so that leaves 7 cars on the track. Yeah, it's interesting when you approach that first chicane. Logic dictates that you would want to pass on the right if you were going to, but the problem is that when you set up for that corner, you drift to the right, so that any chance to overtake is instantly shut off as you're going for that chicane. Like, watch, Ray Radal has definitely got some steam here. Definitely has more steam than Juha, but then you see that Juha fades to the right for the chicane, and that's it. There's nowhere for him to go. Yeah, so someone mentioning on YouTube, half the field is gone thanks to the chicanes. And it's true. None of these DNFs are engine related.
So far.
So far. So far. All right, so now, but you see, look at how much Ray closes on Juha, and then he can't do anything with all that momentum he's got. As soon as he comes, oh, there's a suspension.
Is out.
Oh.
6 cars left.
Who's out? Sorry?
Little L.
Oh, no. That must have been when I saw that a small little piece of a suspension debris left there. But Ray is definitely the faster car here compared to Juha, and he just cannot get by. That's the problem.
Yeah, you only got like one proper overtaking place. That is the second chicane, but even that is very much on the edge because it's the first problem. Like in the first chicane, the outer line turns into the worst line.
Yeah. Here's Nilsson still at the very back of John Team. And the gap is about the same, about 0.4 of a second. My goodness. Nilsson might have a really good run coming off of this corner here. But again, the turbocharged cars have got to watch, make sure that they... Yeah, he keeps looking up the outside, but there's nowhere to go there. I think you're right. I think he's just trying to get some cool air inside the Ford for it, just to keep it on the cool side. But no. Here's got a chance. A little bit of a bobble from John Team. He's up the inside, or the outside, actually, and going into this corner. Is he going to take the corner? Yes, he does! Nilsson goes into the lead. That was fantastic. It was a fantastic corner.
Bold move from him.
Yeah.
Especially in his championship situation. I mean, I probably wouldn't have sent it on the outside on the chicane.
Here's a look at the replay, and he just goes straight in there and with authority and takes first place. Really impressive stuff. So Nilsson leads. John Team in second. So Nilsson is very keen on wrapping things up tonight. That's what that tells me. And now, guess who's closing up on John Team? Fredrickson.
The Swedes are dominating in Kassel.
Yep, we do have a super Swede contingent here. Oh no, look at that, Nilsson! Something went wrong there. Nilsson bobbled. I'm not sure what happened there, but suddenly Fredriksson's on the attack. Nilsson is back to second place.
I think there was a problem with David Saber.
Yeah, let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look here. Here's the replay. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Situations where you run into a lapped car, and it's not an advantageous situation. He runs into Saber in the chicane. Doesn't damage the car, thankfully, but loses time, and there goes John Team up the inside. Fredriksson tries to get through too, but Nilsson says, no, you don't. Actually has a bit of contact there, but he's now in second place, so that's why he's back down to second. But man, that could have turned out much, much worse.
Well, luckily we're driving small tin tops and not F1 cars, because in an F1 car that could have maybe been a lost stream or something and the race ruined.
Yeah.
But here in these cars it just... Yeah, it's a scratch. I'm gonna continue like normally.
Yeah, I think it's great that he was able to continue without any trouble. But now he's got another opportunity here to take advantage of lap traffic. There's two cars in front. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What hell? Ray Radal is out of the race. Another victim of the hay bales. My goodness. Let's take another look at this. Cars come through. Oh. Well, this time I think Ray caught the inside barrier, not the outside one. Oh jeez. This is starting to be a Three Stooges situation here.
Juha has just spun, but it doesn't matter anyway because he is one lap gap to the car in front.
Yeah, he's not in contact with. Yeah, indeed, he's not in contact with Saber or Fredriksson, so we don't have to worry about that. But the question is, can Nilsson get back that lead that he so desperately wants? And it was a situation there of just lap traffic arriving at an inopportune time. Nobody's fault. It just happens. So we're getting down close to the end here. And Fredriksson is right with his groups too. He still has designs on maybe possibly getting second. Juha is in fourth, -1 lap. And then you have Saber, fifth. And that is it. Those are the only cars on the track. Just 5.
Every Division 1 driver who will be watching the race is now probably sitting scared in the seat. And
oh, no kidding. There have been some Division 1 drivers in the YouTube chat having expressing their concern about what's going on here.
And Matthew, who already said, I'm just gonna park my car on the race line and nobody's gonna be able to pass my Toyota.
Well, it's a cautionary tale at the very least for the drivers that come next. Well, Nilsson's getting close again. And we've got a few laps to go here, so he still could pull something off potentially. Wow, look at the speed he got off of that corner. But again, he's not going to have much room to do it. He's trying to around the outside, but that's not going to work. Through the chicane again. So he's definitely
Fredriksson out.
No! What happened? Don't tell me another chicane incident. No, this is engine related, it appears. Yes, Fredriksson has a... Oh, well, he stopped at the end of the pit lane and hit the end of it, but that was it. That was a unfortunately, a engine letting go, it looked like. So now we got 4 cars in the race. Who's going to be left? I don't know.
And one car that is left, David Saber, is currently in the pits, driving with a little bit of damage.
So he's trying to keep the car moving. There was a car on the circuit, I believe that looked like Juha. sitting stationary on the circuit.
Juha's the tired.
No, David's actually spinning somewhere. David's out of the race now. So how many cars are we going to finish? 3? 2?
We got 2 cars on the track now, yeah.
Well, unfortunately for us, it's an interesting battle. It looks like is John Team's car turbocharged or?
John Team's driving a normal BMW
Okay.
320.
And then and Anders has got the turbo, so in his Ford. So here we go. Just a handful of laps to go here. Actually, 2 more laps after this one. Nilsson's still looking for an opportunity here. Oh, I see why that corner is all awkward for people now. It tightens up because of the pit lane entrance. Here's Nilsson trying to. He's looking for the right place to pounce, but it's just not seeing many opportunities right now. People are calling this Monaco 1982.
Fair comparison.
Yeah. And quite right, that was the first barbecue of the race. So it's the chicanes that are causing the accidents, not the... All right, here we go. Final lap. Clean chicane for both cars, thankfully. But it looks like it's going to be John Team taking the win this in this division, unless Anders can pull a rabbit out of the hat. Let's see. And 2 more corners to go. Oh, he tries to get alongside, but just doesn't quite get it done. Oh, now he's coming up the inside. Nope, not going to happen. John Team wins. Anders Nilsson in second place. Very close right at the end. Fredriksson will finish 3rd, even though he's not on the track. 4th for Juha Boss. 5th for David Saber. These are all retirements. 6th through Ray Radal. 7th for Little Al. 8th for Angel May. 9th for Wilma Johnson. 9th for Francois Remen. And 11th for Jonathan Astor Clinton. There's that guy again staring right into the camera. So the race is over. And that means, going back to the point standings that we were looking at before, given the points allocation, second place is 15 points. So that gives Anders a grand total of 130 right now. So we'll have to see what happens to Richard Wilkes in the next race.
Well, already Anders can't win it because Anders had to outscore John Team by 2 points, but Team has won the race, so it's already over the championship, sadly.
So that means that Anders can't win it here.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait until the next round. Is that that's what you're pointing out?
Yeah, exactly. Next race, which is Zolder, I think, is then Anders' big chance.
All right. Well, in that case, that makes things easy as far as mathematics. We don't have to worry about it. We just can enjoy the race.
Exactly.
And watch cars fly into the air.
And watch some more attrition.
Yeah. Good grief. All right. So, according to... I got to go back to the... see what the timing is here for the second round. So we are now at 30 minutes after the hour. The qualifying is starting now for Division 1, and that's going to last exactly 30 minutes. So we are going to leave the air for a bit. And we will be back. Actually, you know what? This is the better graphic to use. There we go. we will be back probably roughly 30 minutes from now for the next race. So I'll see you then, Tim.
See you too.
Okay, everybody take a breather. We'll be back. right, so here we are back for the Division 1 race, watching cars on track, and the time has expired on qualifying, and it looks like Cezarius Slapinski is going to be our pole sitter for Division 1. Not a huge surprise there. He's one of the faster people in this division. Would you agree, Tim?
He was one of the fastest driver actually all season in DRM series, but it hasn't materialized for him so far, like it should have been maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about how difficult it's going to be with these chicanes. Definitely, these cars are a little bit bigger than the previous cars we saw, so there's going to be a challenge there. But one car I'm thinking of in particular that's going to have a difficult time on this track is Matthew Sibignoni's Toyota. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd actually also driven the car around the track in my testing stuff before the race.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually had no problems, but I think the cars behind him are gonna have some massive problems if they want to overtake him, because his car is like, I don't know, when you're in the car, it feels like your rear is half the track wide. And when you're driving a 935 on your own, which is quite a big boat, to be honest, it could be quite a challenge to even find the place to get past him if you park his car at the correct spots.
Okay, we're going to our Midnight Sun session now, which is the warm-up. And taking a bit of time. Okay, there we go. Now cars are starting to populate. There we go. So there will be I'm sure, a discussion with the drivers. Definitely, probably further emphasis on the chicanes and watching the hay bales and making sure that you don't crash, because we had literally 2 cars finish the last race. Maybe 3. if you count, I think it was Juha that was in the pits at one point, or Saber, one or the other.
Yeah, it was Saber, but also he retired at the end and was shown as in DNF, so we only had 2 drivers that were not shown as in DNF.
Man. Well, hopefully that won't be the case this time around. We'll see if these cars do any better. Everybody, as I mentioned in this group, the Division 1 group, is a turbocharged car, with the exception, I believe, of Alberto Ibanez's Porsche. Let's see if we can find that here.
I think his 934 is also turbocharged, but he isn't racing today because his pedals gave up the ghost.
Oh, electronics. See, this is why I always carry this is why I always have spare pedals and spare parts ready to go. I'd be curious to know what the average life of a wheel is for the people in our group, because we're a pretty competitive group. I wouldn't be surprised if wheel attrition is rather high with us.
Well, for the sake of the money, I hope it's not that high.
Yeah, no kidding. Because buying a new wheel is not cheap. Some of the cheapest ones you're still looking like $150 US or something like that. All right, so when these cars head out on track, it'll be interesting to see if the point and squirt method works well with this track. While we have a moment, let's do the trivia question, or the answer to it. The trivia question was, just to remind you, in the International ADAC Supersport Rennen Kassel-Calden in 1978, who placed first in Division 1? Was it A, John Fitzpatrick, B, Bob Wallach, or was it C, Klaus Ludwig?
Well, I actually looked the race up and wrote down some things about it, so I know who was. I think I know who was won the race.
Yeah, so that kind of takes you out of it. So we'll see what people say on the forum. What do you think? Which is the correct answer?
First, I actually think that BL has said that she thinks it's B, Bob Wallach.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in? Yeah, Very Lynn indeed says B. So who else? There's a bit of a delay on the broadcast, so I can't see people chiming in as quickly as I would like. Well, in any case, that is correct. Bob Wallach is the correct answer. So congratulations, Barry Lynn. All right. So Midnight Sun session is underway. Here's K.O. McKeels, who's driving one of the Valiant entries. This could be actually the Bob Wallach car.
It is the number 2.
Yeah, it is the number 2, so there you go. He's driving Bob Wallach's car. How fortunate. Let's see what happens here. He comes out of the chicane. Oh boy, yellow flags here. Yeah, there's one car that's kind of off to the right, but these cars tend to be a bit oversteery. If I remember when I go, whoa! 2 cars spun right in front of KO. Thankfully, not in his path, but my goodness, that had to have been a bit of a surprise. And these cars always sound like a soda machine to me.
Yeah, these cars are quite weird to drive because on the one side you have like most of your weight on the rear axle with the oh my goodness. You got most of the weight on the rear with your engine and your obviously rear wheel drive, so you got like a 35-65 weight placement. But because of that, your front tends to sometimes not turn at all. So you're having oversteer, but at the same time you're having understeer because your front axle of the car doesn't have any weight. And that is indeed a very tricky combination, especially at such fiddly chicanes, where sometimes you just get it wrong or your rear steps out mid-corner.
Yeah. Actually, this looks like it's going to be an even smaller group than the previous race. It's 9 cars here. Or 10. There's a 10th one that just came on, so it's going to be a similar number of cars, but obviously lapping around here faster than Division 2, but facing the same problems, the same difficulties. Chicanes, and try not to make the engine go kablooey. You're looking at Richard Wilkes following Mr. Centorami now. Another yellow flag here. Somebody else off. Yeah, that last chicane, Tim, kind of happens at a very awkward position. It's right at the end of the back straight and puts you in kind of a funny situation as you get to the last corner.
Yeah, and that was already a problem in the Division 2 cars, so who knows how it's gonna be with the Division 1 cars, especially with the tire degradation you got in the 935. I don't know how it is at Kassel, but I remember that at every other race. When I actually get to the checkered flag, my tires were done after I crossed the checkered flag. You gotta be really careful.
Alright. Well, we'll keep track of that. So there's lots of things that could conspire against you in this race, but hopefully it won't be too big of a problem for our competitors. We'll see. And just to remind everybody, coming up next week, it's round 12 out of 15 races in the 1987 PPG IndyCar World Series. It's the Bosch Spark Plug Grand Prix from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. A triangular 1-mile oval that is very, very fast, but also very, very very challenging. This is a track, by the way, Tim, that actually, you know how most ovals in the States are pretty level with the ground? Oh my goodness, as people are really biting the dust in the hairpin while we're talking about this. The track actually goes downhill at one point and then back uphill through another turn. So it's weird. It almost acts like a road course in a way.
It sounds terrifying. For
Yes,
me.
it is terrifying. It's easy as pie when you're by yourself, but when you're with other cars, it's very scary. All it takes is one person to put a foot wrong, and then you're in big trouble. But that's a 200-mile race, Sunday, October 30th, the day before Halloween. Green flag is at 2000 CEST. And I don't know. Hopefully I can survive until the end. That's all I'm going to say. So thanks to the points preparation that Tim has put together prior, we now know, based on the fact that I believe, who was it that finished in the points?
John Team?
Yeah, John Team.
John Team has outscored Anders, and because of that, Anders can't be a champion today.
Yeah, so that basically rules out the chance of a championship being awarded today. Here's Coxon in front of Grant Riddall. Going to the Team Jello cars. Well, the car that I really want to see on track now is not on track, the Toyota, but I'm sure we'll get plenty of opportunity to have a look at it. Oh, here's Dave Miller. He's in the lone BMW, I believe, in the field. Yep. Oh, no, wait. I take that back. No, Gabriel Sturr is another one. So you got two there. Yeah.
The BMWs could also be quite a good car for this trick, given that the 935s are gonna struggle at these slow hairpins, and the BMW has, first of all, one gear more, so you can have a better acceleration zone. And the BMW is just better in the corners. Maybe not faster, but it feels better as a driver.
And if you're more comfortable as a driver, you're probably going to overall do better. There's more yellow flags. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The BMW team just took itself off into the grass. Let's have another look at that. Not sure what happened there, because there's Dave trying to. Oh shoot! I still don't know what happened there.
Only the sim racing gods know what happened there.
Well, I think. Oh, I know what happened there. I see it now. It appears Dave Miller hit the inside barrel, and that propelled him into the side of Mr. Sturr. So there we go. We don't have to call Columbo. We solved that one. Olsen is back for this race, and so is, well, Coxon we mentioned. Wilkes Schlapinski, who is the pole sitter for this race. And his U.S. car is Porsche. Grant Riddall, teammate to Coxon in this series. Oh, and there goes another barrier hit. Pirouettes by Grant Riddall. So 2.5 minutes to go. Any predictions on this race, Tim?
Well, if you're talking about best pace, it is probably Cesarios. But I don't know if his engine gonna last it, and if you're having an attrition race again, Richard Wilkes could be a good bet.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty Pretty good bet. We'll see. Okay, 2 minutes to go. And we're doing the +1 laps, so there'll be 41 laps on the board. And then we'll see what happens. One upside to there being a small field is it's easy to run through the grid before we start. But we got 14 cars now. It looked like it was going to be a small field, but it's actually bigger than the last one.
Yeah, actually we got 15 cars, but
Yeah.
not every car is done a lap in the warm-up. So they're not shown on the tower on the left.
And we've got Juha in the booth. Hey, Juha.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Well, I would have liked to finish the race, but
Yeah.
my BMW decided it didn't fancy doing 14 laps. Here we are.
Well, you were not part of the group of people who hit the barriers, though, which was a long list.
I actually did hit something while trying to make room for someone. So
Yeah, but at least it didn't kill it. That's not what killed
no,
the
we
car.
didn't. No, I didn't
All right.
kill the chicane. I hit a brake marker.
We saw some spectacular acrobatics at the chicane.
Yes, I was a privileged spectator for some of them. Interesting.
Wilmer got his pilot's license.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's orbiting around the Earth now, I think.
All right, 30 seconds to go until.
And for information, I've already done the points after the Division 2 race. And the only people still with a chance of winning the championship are Anders, who's obviously still leading, John Team, who came second, and Richard Wilkes, who needs to finish at least third in this race.
To stay in the hunt.
Yeah, and win the two remaining ones, preferably.
Yeah. Tall order.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We were talking, too, about the IndyCar race coming up. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a short track, but a quick one, so it's...
Yes.
Concentration will be essential in that one. That'll be difficult.
Yeah, before you know it, the lap is over.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to move to the race session, and Slipinski is on the pole. So we'll move to Slipinski as soon as the server updates. There we go. 41 laps. 40 actual racing laps. I got Slipinski. To wait for the game to update. There we go. Okay. It's funny, we've been having that midnight sun situation in the warm-up, which has been rather interesting. And then we go back to a daylight situation for the race itself. All right. So we're just waiting for the cars to pull off, and then we'll go through the grid. See Miller back there in fourth, so he had a good qualifying session too. Coxon in second. And we're off and running. Okay. On the pole, Cesarius Slipinski, Scorpio Racing, number 31. Second, Richard Coxon, Weisenberg Jello Team, number 9. Third, Richard Wilkes, Minolta Kramer Team, number 4, late. Dave Miller is in fourth. McLaren North America, number 35. Matthew Sibignani is fifth in the Rodenstock Toyota Deutschland entry. Number 6 on the grid will be Mike Olson, Con Racing 16. 7th is Gabriel Sturr, BMW Motorsport GmbH. 8th is Giovanni Centorami. Klaus Dries, number 18. 9th is Bruno Chacon, number 11 car. 10th is K.O. McKeels, Valiant Kramer team number 2. 11th is Grant Riddall, Weissenberg Jello team. 12th is Filippo Marazzi, his number 33 entry. 13th is Luciano Rocha, Conrad Racing number 10. 14th is Francisco Amaral, and 15th is Jules Bouchard, and I believe
we didn't start because someone didn't wait for the green flag.
Well, we'll give it another shot.
Yeah.
So does this mean the race has actually started or no?
No, it's not.
All right, so does this lap count? I assume it does.
Yeah, I'll count.
So it's an IndyCar situation. No, we're going to make you go around and do it again.
Yeah.
Lipinski, see if this time it works. They're coming around one more time. And Juha, with the flag in hand, is going to tell them whether they're going to...
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Start has been given. Heading down to the first chicane. Lipinski in the lead into the chicane. Let's watch this. Oh my goodness, already! What, 2 cars, Sivignani and one of the Jello team cars. It's a traffic jam at the chicane. We're gonna have to take a look at that in replay. My goodness.
Yeah.
So Lipinski comes through. Yeah, there you see it there. I believe
That was Richard Coxon.
that's Coxon hitting the barrier, and Sivignani going straight on into the bales that are on the left-hand side. So terrible start for these 2 competitors. My goodness. Lipinski back through the chicane, and he is now leading by about 3 seconds after that. That doesn't surprise me because that would have slowed up the whole field. Second is Richard Wilkes. Third is Dave Miller. Fourth, Gabriel Sturr. Fifth, Centorami. Sixth, Grant Riddall. Seventh, Bruno Chacon. Eighth, K.O. McKeels. Ninth, Mike Olson. And the top 10 is rounded out by Luciano Rocha. Oh, look at this. There goes K.O. McKeels. He is doing battle with Bruno Chacon, driving the Bob Wallach car. BMWs staying close together. So Lipinski is the benefactor of that schmozzle that went on there. He's got a huge lead now. Huge by the standards that we had in the previous race. Maybe he wants to dial it back a little bit and try to preserve his car. Oh, Centorami looking to get around the BMWs there, but just can't quite do it. Bruno Chacon pulls off the track and out of the race. I don't know what that's about.
I will try to find out for you.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, he is out.
Oh, I think his engine just expired.
Now, there you go. That's one thing that can happen here. So that gives us 3 retirements. There's Wilkes in second, Sturr in third, Miller fourth, Riddall in fifth, Centorami sixth. Back onto the main straight is Lipinski, who has led from the start. Down towards the chicane.
Lipinski is per lap about a second faster than Richard Wilkes. I don't think he's thinking about saving the car. He's just thinking about the fastest lap time.
Well, oh my goodness, another accident! Grant Riddall out of the race. Grant Riddall out of the race at the chicane. Yep.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
This time he actually hit the inside barrier, not the outside one. So there's a different way the chicane can bite you. My goodness. Lots of damaged cars today.
Yeah, we've already lost 4 cars, and we're only 8 laps in. Well, 7 actually.
Yep. not all that unusual. We've seen a lot of that in the previous race. 4 cars out of the race now, one of them engine-related. Bruno Chacon says on the YouTube chat that the engine broke and with no warning, and he had low temperatures, so he's a bit befuddled as to what happened.
Well, I think he needs to talk to his engine builder then.
Yeah, I would, yeah. Did he make sure that he left all the tools, didn't leave any tools in there?
Was Cesarius making a run for it? 7-second gap already, coming up to lap the first cars.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely quick, but as you pointed out, he may not be looking after his engine, and that could be spell trouble for him later in the race. We'll see. Here's Centorami trying to get around Dave Miller, actually bumping him a little bit there, up the inside, and he gets the position. Centorami up to 4th place, Dave Miller down to 5th. So now Centorami finds himself in a...
and Slopinski sends Bouchard into a spin after he's being held up, lapping him.
Oh boy.
Not the cleanest race for CC so far.
Well, technically Bouchard was really slow for the corner, so I don't think he expected that to happen.
Ooh. Oh goodness, yeah, and Bouchard goes looping around. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You don't want to do that if you can help it as someone who's lapping another car, but
well, I
wow.
don't think Cesarius was expecting him to take such a tight turn and then
yeah.
basically understeer off.
Well, that is a very odd corner to be absolutely fair, because you got the entrance to the pits there as well. So now Centorami finds himself sandwiched between 2 Beamers, although
and also ready to lap Jules.
All right. Yeah, a couple of situations we saw in the first race. It was primarily the reason why Anders did not win Division 2. He caught a lapped car at a very inopportune place.
Kaio's off. He's just had another Wilma accident.
Yes, a very spectacular one.
Again, for acrobatics.
Who are we referring to?
Kaio.
KO. Oh my goodness, you're right. Whoa, man. He's got,
Well, talk about going out in style. That was one.
Let me see here. How many rotations do we get here on this one? Wait. Okay, let's see. We have liftoff. Got 1 complete rotation there. 1. One and a half. We got 1.5 complete rotations there.
Landing could be better.
Landing would have been better.
But give him good points for style.
Yeah, style. You get style points. Good grief.
Meanwhile, Cesarius is still 7 seconds ahead of Richard Wilkes.
Oh, it appears Francisco Almiral has lost his front clip. I'm not sure how much that's going to matter on a short track like this.
Where it happened. But
yeah.
I'll try to find that one out for you.
Yeah.
He actually hit the same bale as Kaio did, but at a slower speed. And he hit it again on the next lap, and that put him out.
Well, Amaral is retired also. He
hit the same bale again.
Right. Okay, so Miller here, is he closing on Centorami? Well, Centorami got past him, so let's see, where's Stir? There he is. Wilkes in 2nd place, and then Slopinski basically is 8 seconds out in front. So, at this point, as he laps Marazzi, it's going to be a situation of, is he looking after his car? Is it going to be alive at the end of the race? We're 15 laps into this 40-lap race. Anders wins the YouTube chat with, if you can't find a way to give your sponsor, if you can't find a way to give your sponsor value for money. So I guess then an acrobatic accident would be the other way.
It makes great photos for your sponsor if they want to place. Alright, if they want to show, alright, we have sponsored this car. Look at this
Yes.
beautiful photo in the air. It's it's nice.
Well, that was really unfortunate, the front at the start, because I really did want to see how Matthew Sibignani would fare in this race. And Coxon had an excellent start ready for him there, and just didn't turn out well. It's really unfortunate. More cars for Cesarius to lap here, I believe.
Yeah, that will be Jules Bouchard. Who
That's
will be
Bouchard.
lapped again.
Yep. The gap between Schlapinski and Wilkes is 9.2 seconds, so... Oh my god. Bouchard holds up, is holding up Schlapinski just a little bit while he goes around the... he tries to go around the outside, but can't. I think he'll get him now in the straight.
There he goes.
Yep, there he goes. And Wilkes, considerable distance back.
Well, he gained a second back there.
Yeah.
Santorama is off. He's now retired the car. He's free
Oh,
with the front
no!
end of it.
What happened? Oh no, we're heading to the same chicane, let me guess.
Yep, you guessed, inside this time.
Inside this time, and he's out of the race. Oh, jeez. Poor Giovanni, that's too bad.
Yep.
Good grief. So this is a replay of last race, more or less. So that puts the BMWs back in a line 3 and 4. Olsen is up to 5th now, driving his Porsche. It'd be nice to see him get a good result. Runs a little bit off the track, but he's okay. And Marazzi is in 6th in the Reneo Vickers number 33.
About to be lapped by
Yes.
Rich Wilkes.
Mm-hmm. At some point, you have to think to yourself, is this race less of a race and more of a lottery? But, I don't know. But there goes Wilkes right by.
Wester has issues lapping Bouchard. It's slightly held up.
Well, a bit of an awkward location. I think that's very similar to what happened to Anders Nilsson. He had a similar problem. This car was actually driven by Ronnie Peterson, the car that Gabriel Sturr is running. Alright, so the gap still increases to the front 11 seconds, so I guess Wilkes has concluded that the best thing to do is just to let Schleminski drive the car till it breaks.
Yes, because the gap's opening slowly laps. So.
Yeah.
Although Wilkes can't let it slack too much because he's got Gabriel still right behind him.
Olsen did really well here.
Although Gabriel's in a turbocharged BMW, it doesn't exactly help if you want to finish a race. We've already seen the previous one.
Well, Olsen's doing excellent so far. I don't want to jinx him with the commentator's curse, but it'd be great to see him pick up a
Oh yes, definitely.
top 5 finish.
Yeah, he's got a healthy lead over Marazzi, nearly half a minute.
Yeah, it's a full straightaway distance actually. So, and
As
Rocha,
Dave Miller has 2 cars to lap this time, Jules Bouchard and Luciano Rocha.
yeah, I see him. He's just now overtaking Bouchard, and now he's looking at Rocha.
Well, Rocha is actually quite close to Marazzi, so I
He
don't
is.
think he's ready to give too much time. Sorry.
He's getting there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the lapping situation will help him. Who knows?
He's
Miller.
sportingly slowing down, so he's giving up a few
Yep.
seconds there. Very
Yep.
sporting maneuver.
Well, I mean, given the nature of these chicanes, I'd say that's.
Well, he could have held it on a bit more if he really wished to.
He just wanted things to be safe.
Exactly, that's credit to him.
Yeah, he's got a big gap between himself now and Marazzi.
Yeah, the gap's down to back to 4 seconds now. Oh, he's still got 18 laps to try and improve on it. So.
Last few laps, Stir was half a second faster than Wilkes. He is now only 1 second behind him, probably closing in.
As Mike Olsen just laps Bouchard. Now we could have a very interesting battle for second place coming soon.
Yeah, between Stir and Wilkes, definitely.
Yes, definitely. It's looking good for that.
Oh yeah, he's closing hand over fist. Here's the view from inside Gabriel's car.
But Gabriel's gonna have a very hard time to overtake Wilkes because the BMW is faster in the corners, but on the straights, Wilkes usually just takes off when he has got his boost on a normal or rather higher setting.
Yeah.
The BMW is at a power deficit.
Yeah, we saw earlier how Stir was passed easily. I'm sorry, Miller was passed by Cinturami before his demise. So, but look at this. Stir's right with
He's
him now.
closing in.
He is.
Don't give up on it yet.
He definitely is quicker through here.
Yeah, I lose a bit on the acceleration, but not too much from this.
Yeah.
Oh,
What the? Oh!
Oh, he's
What
looking.
hap-
He's looking.
What was that?
Oh, we've lost Dave Miller.
Oh no!
I will try. Yeah, he hit first chicane.
Oh jeez.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Very. And it seems to be just a recurring theme. So that brings Olsen up to 4th, Marazzi 5th.
And Rocha is
that's
also just split
Rocha.
the chicane.
That's Rocha. Flip the
But he's still
chicane.
going.
Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, well, he clipped the same veil that
He was
KO
making-
clip. Yeah, he was making room, and
And then, oh man.
Hmm?
That's a
that
yeah.
reward for sportsmanship.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is really the hardest pill to swallow, personally, for me as a driver, is when you're making way for someone who's lapping you, and then you end up, like, ruining your race or doing something that damages
Oh, well, that's what I did in the previous race.
you. Yeah.
There we go.
Poor Luciano, he was looking to have a good finish there.
No, well, he can still have a good finish. He can still finish 6th.
Yeah, but his car has got to be handling like a
Yeah.
shopping cart now.
Yeah, true. And let's see what happens with Gabriel and Wilkes as
He's
they
in
come
this-
across Jules Bouchard.
Luciano's in the pits.
Yeah. Oh. Gabriel getting close again.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Oh, it must be so tempting to go for broke in the chicanes now.
Man. Okay, Gabriel.
Yeah.
He's got a ways to go, though, before he's going to be able to actually...
Well, Bouchard has just taken 6th place off Rocha, who's still in the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, all of this stuff has moved Olsen up to 4th, Marazzi up to 5th, Jules Bouchard to 6th, and Rocha in the pits is 7th.
Yes. There is looks to be a bit further back from Wilkes now. I think Wilkes has found the boost button.
Yep. Yeah, nice attention to detail in that car that Star's driving. You can see very clearly Ronnie Peterson's helmet that's blue with the yellow trim and the polar bear on the side.
Oh, he's getting really close now. There's a straight, and there goes Wilkes.
Yeah, Wilkes just takes off at that point.
And Gabriel closes on the braking.
Now he's going to close up the whole way through here, and then we get to the next straight, and it's bye-bye again.
Gabriel essentially needs a really good first chicane to be able to send it into the next upcoming hairpin after that. That's its only chance, basically.
He does. He seems to brake later than Wilkes. This is... Well, maybe it would help if we were by a half overtake, but just try to be quick around it. Unless it's a psychological thing, saying, here I am, just looking at your inside every lap.
Yep. Slipinski leading by 14 seconds. And a lot of question marks about whether he's pushed his engine too hard.
Well, he can afford to relax now with a lead like that.
Yeah, I know. You would think that he would.
Meanwhile, behind him, we're in the same situation. Wilkes still right behind.
Yep.
Rocha's still in the pits, by the way.
Yep. Here's Olsen coming through, still in 4th place. Negotiates the chicane very well. And he's got a full lap on Marazzi. So, he could try to hunt down Stir, but I would think in his position right now, if I were him, I'd just take it. With
6 laps to go, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
I think
and there goes Stir.
Oh, he was closer that time.
Yeah, I think if he'd have taken his corner without trying to overtake, it would have been on Wilkes' rear bumper now.
Well, yeah, there's still a few laps to go here to see if he can do anything with Wilkes, but yeah, I think Olsen's would be better served by just
there's 6 laps to go,
touring around and taking a well-deserved 4th place.
Oh yeah, where Olsen is, I couldn't do anything, but I mean, Gabriel still has 5 laps to make an impression on Wilkes. And he finally seems to have gotten the message by taking the first turn properly. And thus the quicker way.
There he is, yep. The other thing...
Must be so frustrating for Gabriel because he knows that he's fast in the corners, but he can't get past him, and maybe he's faster overall than Wilkes, but yeah, he just can't get past him. Because where he's always closing the gap whenever he had one like 10 laps ago. He did a little mistake, I think he misshifted and lost a second, and within 2 laps he was again at Richard's rear ring, so...
Yeah, there we go, there we go.
Oh, look at that, that's excellent, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that up the inside!
And there he goes. Oh, and he misshifts.
Nope. Man.
Oh.
He had it.
Yeah.
Dang.
There you go, that's the stress.
Let's take a look at that from the inside. He's all the way alongside here. Yeah, he missed a shift there. That was what... God, it's so close. And it cost him track space as well. He's a little behind. He gave insurance to Wilkes.
Meanwhile, Luciano Rocha's running, but 9 laps down on the leader.
Yeah. Is there a classified set thing for...
No, there's no limits. If you start the race, you're eligible, as long as you're in the first 10.
All right, so still trying to catch Wilkes.
3 laps to go.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. This time, Bayesh Lipinski is gone.
Yeah, and Wilkes looked gone as well, but I don't think Stur's ready to give up.
He made up half a second last lap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, there we go. We could be in for a very exciting final lap. I think it's just giving it everything now.
And Filippo Marazzi in front of them now, so...
Yeah, oh, look at how basically easy he closed that gap then.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's going to be any problem in this situation.
Oh, for Filippo, very sporting there.
Yeah, Filippo's leaving the room and letting them go, so...
Yeah. And now hitting the brakes, so make sure Gabriel gets through cleanly. Oh, it's getting close.
Yep.
Wilkes blocking the inside, so coming. Oh, Mike Olsen crashed in the final turn.
No!
Yeah.
No, no, no!
Yeah, he hit the same brake marker I did.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, this is
that's a race-ending one, unfortunately. But here we are. Stur is on the back of Richard Wilkes now.
Oh my God! He hit a brake marker.
Yeah.
And those brake markers are just as solid as the hay bales.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really unfortunate.
Wilkes with some smart car positioning was able to block Stur's effort and has probably the second place by now.
This is the final lap too.
Yeah, it is the final lap. Yeah.
It is the final lap.
It is.
And race is
Lipinski
over.
wins. Ah.
And Wilkes is going to take second. Third goes to Stur, but good race there for the two of them. Yeah. So Filippo Marazzi finishes fourth. Fifth. Mike Olsen will still be classified fifth.
Yeah, he will.
Sixth goes to Bouchard, who is doing donuts. Seventh will go to Rocha. Here he comes, even though he has like 9 laps down, but that's because of the incident that he had. 8th, Dave Miller. 9th, Santarami. 10th, Francisco Almaral. 11th, K.O. McKeels. 12th, Grant Riddall. 13th, Bruno Chacon. 14th, Richard Coxon. 15th, Matthew Sibignani. All right, so that was the Division 1 race. Pretty much kind of a repeat of what we saw in the first race, just different cars.
And more finishers.
Yeah, well, more finishers, thankfully. Yeah. Yeah, Olsen's going to be classified fifth just simply because of the
he will be.
laps completed. For sure. All right. So we didn't crown a championship this time out, but we will probably do in the next one. We'll see.
Likely, but...
The next race is what? I forget.
It's at Zolder.
It's at Zolder, okay. That ought to be an interesting course for these cars.
Yeah, if Anders scores 6 points there, he will be probably champion. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, I have to bolt for some commitments, but I want to thank very much Tim Hille for all the effort he put in getting the points together, and so that we knew what the situation was and the and history of the track and those things. Thanks very much.
No problem. It was nice being here in the broadcast.
Yeah, it was good to have you, and thanks to Juha for joining us in the. Oh, actually, we've got Schlipinski here in the green room. Let's say hi to him. Cesarius, congratulations! You did not hit any hay bales. And
Thank you
had
very much. I'm happy too.
Yes, and you had a fast car. No close calls or crazy stuff during the race.
Actually, I was only afraid of the start of the race and the very first chicane, how we get through it. But I think that something bad happened behind me. But once I got through, I just know I'm gonna keep my engine temp low and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So the next race for these cars is Zolder. What are your feelings about that track with these cars?
I don't think I ever drove there, so it's gonna be a challenge. But as always, I'm happy because when you know the track from the other sims, sometimes the physics and tire model can't be, let's say, bad for you. You got some habits, you got things like that. And here, when you come with a new mod to the new tracks, it's better, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. We'll be definitely looking forward to that. Thanks again to Tim Hille and Juha for their help in the booth today. And thanks to all of you at home watching on YouTube. So until next week, which will be the IndyCar race at Nazareth, this is Jason White saying so long from Kassel-Calden. We'll see you next week. Take care and be safe.